talk to you about chocolate. And you might have seen it at our booth over there. We have brought some chocolate bars with us. And the reason I want to do this is that in 2005, there was a journalist, and he was writing an article about, well, basically the supply chain of chocolate. So we went to a couple of big chocolate manufacturers in the world, and he asked them the question, do you know where your cacao comes from? And unfortunately, neither of these companies could give him a satisfactory answer. So he thought that's strange, so let's have a look myself. And what he did is, he went to some big chocolate farms, mainly in Africa, and there he found some terrible things. He found that people were working there way below living standards. He found that there was slavery going on those farms. He also found child laboring. And he thought, that's strange, in a world where there's so much economic prosperity, how could it be that children are employed to make my chocolate bars? That's unacceptable. And because of that, he came home and he declared himself a crook. He went to the court and he said, I'm a crook, I'm eating dishonest chocolate. Please convict me. Unfortunately, he was sentenced right, he was a crook, but it was impossible to convict every person that ate chocolate at that time. So what he did, he had a different plan. He laid some contacts with those farms and got personal touch with the farmers. And from those personal contacts, he bought the cacao and created his first 5,000 chocolate bars, honest chocolate bars. Because there was no slavery involved, he paid fair prices for the chocolate. And these 5,000 bars actually flew out of his stores in the blink of an eye. It was a great success. And that's how Tony Chocolonely was born. Right now it's the biggest chocolate manufacturer in the Netherlands. And they are even spreading their wings throughout the globe. And as you can see on the slide behind me, honest chocolate goes well with honest insurance. And that's what we try to do with Frizz, is make the insurance world a bit more honest. Because we deliver fraud, risk and compliance solutions to over 150 insurance companies in more than 25 countries. And as we implement our solutions at these insurance companies, we found a number of common challenges. You might think you're all unique. Believe me, there are some things that other insurance companies are dealing with as well. And as Frizz, because we hear all these stories, we read about all these challenges, and we listen to them, we also want to give something back to you as insurers so that you can tackle these challenges way in advance before falling in the same pitfall. And that's why we've created an ebook, which we will send to you after this conference, in which these challenges are summed up. And what I want to do today is to go briefly, because I only have 10 minutes, I believe, to these challenges and give some live examples of what we hear from our customers. So these are some common denominators that we find. I won't dive into data because it can be a pain in the ass to get proper data out of your systems. There are many systems that you have in place, and it could be a challenge or it could be an opportunity. Who knows? Make it an opportunity, I'd say. But we'll discuss that afterwards. I want to start with automation. And you've already heard it this morning. Everyone is talking about digitalization, core system replacements. It's a big thing. I mean, these old legacy systems, how to transform this in a fancy system that supports your business in a way that really works. But also looking at straight-through processing at underwriting departments, for instance, or fast-track claims, touchless claims. So these are all topics that run around automation. And in my opinion, if you talk about automation, it's not on having the best system, because a system can deliver very good things to your business. But if the people that work with the systems don't understand what they get delivered, it's of no use. I'll give you an example of Turkish insurer Anadolu Sigorta, which is one of the biggest insurers in Turkey when it comes to motor. And when they started talking to us, they had a process of scoring claims in a manual way. Their claim handlers, they use gut feeling to look at the claims. Is this a fraud or is this okay? And as they are a big insurer, you can also imagine that there's a lot of claims coming in there, and they were not able to process all those claims, and they were able to process it, of course, but not assess the risks that were attached to those claims. So what happens with this vast amount of claims coming in, and only gut feeling to score them, is this fraud or is it okay, they had to pay a lot of money to fraudulent behavior in that claims. So that was a big thing for their loss ratio. Now when they started talking to us, they immediately realized that they could improve on this because they were now able, with the system, to go process the claims that were not suspicious in a fast track way. They could immediately go to payout, and the ones that were suspicious needed more investigation. Now that's the thing, because all claims got scored now, they also got a big workload of suspicious claims, which they didn't find previously. And what they had to do was that they had to rethink their strategy, rethink their processes. So they created a special investigations unit to follow up on the really suspicious ones, and they could deep dive into those. And the other ones went straight through payout and were okay. That saved them a lot of time. And actually, because of this automation, they also changed the way they worked with their core processes. They changed the way they operated in the whole company. And in fact, within 8 months, they realized a cost savings of around 6 million euros. And that's only growing. So if you automate, do it in a proper way, and think also about what to do with the system information that comes from that. The other thing I want to talk about is a fraud fighting culture. We did a survey a couple of months ago in which we asked to insurance professionals like yourself in which departments the fraud maturity is the highest. And it was no surprise that it's the claim department in which the fraud maturity and awareness is the highest, because their claims come in, they are fraudulent, a lot of money goes to that. Those people are really aware. Second was underwriting department. And from there it went down, 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 down. But if you want to be really effective in your fight against fraud, it needs to be an organization-wide thing. So you can think of trainings, for instance, from claims to underwriting. You can bring back the learnings that you have from the claims department and put that back into the underwriting department or the pricing department, for instance, to make sure that the risks are properly priced. We also have a customer in the Netherlands, which is called Aegon, perhaps well known to you, and they have a zero tolerance policy. So for them, the fight against fraud may even cost money. They simply say, we don't accept fraud, it's not acceptable, we should not tolerate fraudulent behavior within our company. So they spend money to fight fraud. Actually, they gain some money, but it's not only about gaining, it's about respecting your customers, I think. Because if you say that you don't accept any fraudulent behavior from your customers, then the ones who are honest will feel better. And as a bonus, they will get a better premium as well, because you're able to lower that. Then there's also a topic about prevention or cure. If you look at the claims department and have a system in place to score fraudulent claims, that's curing. However, as long as you don't close the tap or close the gates at the underwriting department for high risks that come in, you still have a problem, because a lot of risks come in and you have to deal with that in the claims department. If you properly see what customers come in and you know what risks they bring with them, then that will save you time, effort and money in the claims department later on. So you have to grow your portfolio, but make sure you grow it in a healthy way. To give you an example of InShared, which is a 100% online insurer, also from the Netherlands. Before they started launching their product, they knew that being an online insurer, of course, brings some challenges. You've never seen your customer. You've only had them filled out in a form on the internet. that there has been no physical contact. So how do you know if this is a good customer or a bad customer? Basically, you can grow once you open that gate, everyone can come in, and you don't know that. So what they did, they started a conversation with us, and from the moment they switched on their internet site, they worked with us to score their customers and score the risks that they brought in. And in the first year, they rejected 50% of the customers that want to apply for a policy there. 50%, that's half of the applications that were not accepted. So that's big, but they felt that that was needed in order to grow a healthy portfolio, and not only grow a portfolio. What happens over time is that that number, because of the tweaking of the systems, they know better now what they didn't know then. So at this moment they're at the level of rejection of 12% more or less, which also is a good thing. And looking at A-share, they also, going back to honesty, have some policy that they use 75% of their incoming premium for claims payout, and they use 25% for operations. And if they have a good year, they give money back to their honest customers. These are just some challenges, and like the cat here, if you look in that mirror, you can do three things. You can either run away scared, like, those are big challenges, I don't want to cope with that. But I can tell you a small secret, you will cope with them. However, you can also be that lion. Face the mirror and tackle those challenges as you go. And I recommend you to do the last one. We have some honest chocolate bars with us, so you can grab them at the booth over there. I don't think we have enough with us for everyone here. But if you want some, please give, and they are gone, please give us your cards, and we'll send them over, no problem. Me and my colleagues are happy to do so. So, thank you very much.